Okay, apparently we're going live. We're in the pre-show, testing things. So, welcome. I see we got people in there. Okay, I'm just learning. I can't turn my phone while we're live. So, thanks for coming in early. You're just going to have to put up with me for a minute as we get ready to do this. This is great. I am so excited. So, okay, let's see. Let's click on here. Where are you, man? I want to invite you, man. Thanks for putting up with me, folks. Because, you know, I'm on my own today, and you'll appreciate it, I hope. All right. I've done this 3 times, by the way, so every time I make a switch, Are you guys there? Say something, please. Doc, are you on there? I can't tell. I can't tell. Hang on. Why can't I hear anybody? Who's out there? Anybody out there? Put something in text so I can see it. I got a lot of reflection coming through the glass. Damn. And my tech guy, he's taking a pee bath back at the house. I'm in the Mobile 1 unit of, going live from Orintown here in Odessa, Missouri. And I'm sitting in a park, and it is, it's really quiet. It's beautiful. It's ball fields and things, but it's the frozen tundra. Maybe I'll give you guys a view of what I'm looking at. Just see the stillness of it all. So that's where I am. And I'm looking for Doc to come in. I see Michelle Montgomery is a live viewer. I just don't know why Doc's not appearing yet. Because he's coming to us live from New York City. He's standing by. And I trust I'll figure this out one way or the other. And I have you invited. It is clearly in the queue. And I don't know why you're not coming in. Is everybody hearing my audio, by the way? Can somebody just respond? Wow. Okay, you know what? I'm going to cut broadcast for a minute, and I'm going to figure out what's going on here. I hate to stop and start over because you guys are just a part of all of this. Hey, it's a new day, a new year. Donald Ponder has appeared. I don't know where Doc is. And can anybody hear me? Am I coming through? Can somebody put up a text or something to let me know you can hear me? Hello. Maybe I'm just alone here. No, I know Donald's there and Elizabeth showed up. So I'm going to push other buttons here and see what appears. Okay. I'm going to look here. I'm going to here. I don't know. Wouldn't you know, the first broadcast of the year. I don't have a computer. I'm working from my phone. I'm sitting in a park. My whiz kid is taking a whiz bath, and it's all good. It's all good. I just was texting with Doc. And every time I switch screens, everything seems to go away. So that's why I'm not switching screens at this point. So, Doc, I hope we can figure out how to get you in here because I really want to talk to you. We've got some great conversations that we've been having, and we are intending to open up the idea of how everything in life is an inside job. There he is. Okay. Let me see what we can do here. Okay. All right. Doc, are you there? You're not appearing yet. Can you say something? Yeah, I've hit you into the app. I see you in the queue. So, hey, Eric, nice to see you, brother. Happy New You. It's a beautiful day to be alive. So I've got you inviting, Doc. You're in the queue. Um, so I don't know why I can't hear you. Please say something, somebody. Okay, so far I'm on my own. So it's been really, really cold here. I don't know where you are in the world, but it's been plenty cold here in the heartland. And I have been testing every single day, just my endurance, not trying to prove anything, just, okay, Doc keeps reappearing and I keep inviting him in, and I keep adding you and inviting you in, and you're showing up in the queue, and I don't know why it's being declined. That doesn't make any sense. I don't decline. I want to add. We're going to get this. Anyway, as I was saying, I've been going out walking, which is one of my favorite pastimes because it's just a repetition. It's a mantra. Hey, there you are, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, man. What's up? What's going on?
Hey,
All
there you
right.
go. There you are. Now I see you. Hey, we're making this work. This is awesome. And Michelle's with us, Eric's with us, Jeffrey's with us, and there was a Donald there a minute ago, and so
So
we're
just
happening, bro.
break going on. I might have to switch up phones. Can I pop in and then you and me again? Because I have
Yeah,
two
yeah, yeah, yeah,
iPhones.
exactly.
Get it? Two
It's all right.
iPhones. Still
I,
can't see with two iPhones. All right. So let me hang up and let me set up the right connection for you.
yep, yeah, you're breaking up all over. Go and fix it. I love this part. I love this part. Yeah, you go ahead, bro. Come back when you're ready.
All right. Hey, WEEDU, what about my I don't know why my other phone, it has the camera, but it's not picking.
Okay, I'm back. I didn't know. I don't know if you heard any of that. He was calling me on Messenger, but he's coming back in on a different phone. So that's what's happening. And so we're all good. Anyway, Happy New Year to everybody. It's a beautiful day to be alive. And I'm going to put on my, once we get everything dialed, I'm going to put my glasses back on because I can. And so anyway, Doc, go ahead and figure out how to get back in. You're not in the queue yet. So I'm waiting for him to get that other phone working. So anyway, back to where I was, which is exactly where I am. And I'm just testing my just general beingness, out walking, out meditating, having some beautiful conversations with the richest, beautiful people I've ever had the privilege of knowing and meeting. Doc being one of them, and Elizabeth, Jeffrey. There's so many, and so it's really been a beautiful awakening because what's happening, I have totally embodied my experience really through my P, to be honest, it's a higher frequency. That's the only way I can describe it. And I am, okay, Doc's in the queue. Let me get him back in here. And so with all that, I actually have improved in every area. I've been taking these P baths, been having my aged, and these were aged urine and aged urine enemas, and doing my face and hair, and just going out and embracing the cold. Where in the past I would battle it, and the battle's over. And I realized that I've got this amazing peacoat protection going. And I'm out there walking 10 miles, out there 3 hours. People drive up in their vehicles and stop and they're like, "Are you okay?" I go, "What do you mean by that?" And so it's really, it's all fun. Life's just fun. And if we don't realize our own enthusiasm, wonder, our willingness. Hey, Doc, he's back. I hope everybody can see
So
Doc.
we do.
I got a lot of things on my screen, so I'm doing the best I can to just keep it in stride. So anyway, I just want to finish that little story before we jump in. And so anyway, I'm just amusing myself. I'm just totally amused. And with that, the flow of energy and creativity is being magnetized at such powerful levels. And I recognize that I'm connecting all these dots through a higher frequency because I was sun gazing yesterday for more than an hour, and it was like being in a disco. It was going right on through, I mean, just totally straight into the pineal, and the whole universe was opening up. And I was just hanging in delight, in muse, in wonder. It was just so wonderful, all of it. Every moment was just amazing. So the reason I'm telling everybody all of this is because my whole entire life up until just a week ago,
Lord of
I
mercy.
I battled the cold. I always battled the cold. And I had a change of mind, a change of heart, and a change of procedure, and I just went out and embraced it. And it's loving me back. I'd come back toasty warm and my beard would have icicles hanging all over it, and that was just condensation from my breath creating. Pretty wild. So anyway, with all that being said, live from New York, we got Doc Precise on the line with
What's
us.
good?
Welcome, my
And
brother.
you are freezing up. It's freezing here, and the thing is freezing up. But how y'all doing?
Yeah,
I got all
awesome,
kinds of people
awesome.
on here. People that don't know what the hell we gonna talk about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh
And
man.
I've got a lot of I've got a lot of reflection in my screen. You know, I'm sitting in my van in Mobile One here, live from Orin Town, talking to New York in the house. This is so awesome. And look at us with our woolies on, you
Mm.
know, with our caps
You
and
just
our
came in like
hoodies
Max
or
Headroom.
whatever, you know, working that cold thing. Yeah. There it is. There it
Wonder if I
is.
could
So Doc
move
and
my
I had
location.
conversations. Doc and I were having conversations in the recent past, and we knew exactly how to start the new you. And so,
Hmm.
what we're topically
God
going
damn it.
to be covering is that it's all an inside job. And so, that is a lot of different points of view that we're considering. So, I want everybody to know who is listening is that I'm doing this whole show on my own. I don't have a producer or a DJ. Daniel's taking a pee bath. I've got Doc on the phone, and we're doing this all live on Facebook. Just so everybody knows, the YouTube is out for now, the radio is out for now, but we are live, you know, on Facebook. And so I hope if you have questions or want to participate, there'll be times that I will consider bringing different people into the conversation. So know that. But just bear with me, okay? Let's keep the four agreements: impeccability with
You
our
sound
word,
a lot better.
don't take anything personal, no assumptions, and do the best we can. And we're all in. I hope everybody can dig it. So, Doc, let's start with you.
I think,
Tell us what
being that I'm a
insights
spot that
you,
I don't
yeah,
usually go to, I had to ask where a place was with a Wi-Fi. I cannot stay at work because I'm kind of important there. They would kept bothering me, and I would have been kept turning. I'm talking about P. Hold on, but it would have been pretty interesting to stay there.
yeah.
It wouldn't have worked. It would have been a 5-hour interview. So I came to Dunkin' Donuts, which was like the 19th best thing. So here I am. I'm hoping y'all can hear me clear.
I can. Anybody, and go ahead and attempt to pop up any comments in text if you're able, and I'll do the best I can to see them and read them. And like I said, I got tons of reflection going on in my screen,
Okay.
um, so just hang with that for everybody.
How
But
dope.
I hear you and see you clearly.
Nice, nice. And so yeah, I'm
You
seeing you
know.
good too. You're in a good spot. You're in a good location over there. You got on orange. I got my orange. I don't know what
Yeah.
that's about, but we communicated cyclically on that level. So yeah,
Yeah. Hey, safety first, right?
yes, sir. Yes, indeed. And I haven't eaten yet. I had a couple of rounds, and now I'm having a kombucha because out here in these parts, it's some real food, especially when you're used to eating raw. But my whole this all came about through nutrition. Ever since so I'm very athletic, so we were very interested in bodybuilding young. We used to look at the comic books and be like, oh, these heroes. But it turned out that what they were preaching out there, because I was in 15, I was a 16-year-old. For those who know me from high school, I was a skinny little kid trying to lift weights. The weights would be dangling, but it wasn't a weight like baking soda, like different tell us in the muscle fitness magazines. So that was healthy. And then being that our parents were going through some issues with health, and I myself had like some nerve issues. It was very I had a lot of like my fingers would lock, and I noticed that happened to my mother. My mother actually passed on now. So around the time that she passed on, I had decided to become a vegan. And I thought that would have been a good choice because they say that I read a book by a Dr. Neil Barnard. It changed my life almost forever, and it showed me that you can make more ethical choices as far as what you're eating. I didn't understand why fish wasn't healthy for me, but then when he explained how the fish are getting, the oceans are getting dirtier and dirtier, and you can do without it. You know, I gave up on the protein myth right then and there. Then years later, I you know, still dealing with the nerve issues, candida, you name it. So I met a guy named David Wolf, and David Wolf told me about a gentleman named David Jubb. And as soon as I walk into David's store, this is back into like 2004, I think 2005. The lady, nice lady in the you know, serving the food, she asked me, "Do you drink? You should drink your urine." I said, "What?" I you know, I did some research on it, and sure enough,
Hang
I
on
discovered
one
the fountain of
second.
youth.
Hey, Doc, hang on one second, okay? I just want to note something for you. You're breaking up a bit. So you're moving back and forth. If you didn't move around as much, it might
Okay,
change. I
how
don't
about
know.
now?
I'm just saying, we're losing part of your transmission. So please continue.
Okay,
Continue.
all right. So in about, let me see, so I left off at about 2004, 5 or so, and I met a guy named David Wolf, who mentioned um, David Jubb was a guy who was, you know, in town. I was into living foods and things. At this point, you know, I was still dealing with issues. I was, you know, trying to find a ethical, healthy way, you know, to take care of myself. So I went to his store, and the little lady in the front, a Brazilian lady, to ask me if I drank my weed. I said, "What?" I said, "Okay." So I went and I did some research on it, and sure enough, I found out that this is the fountain of youth. You know, I could also save some money. I could also, you know, get the most out of my nutrition. And this thing, as many people thought it was, and think it still is to this day. Um, it's not nothing that I really, I don't really promote it, but at the same time, you know, I'm not hiding it. You know, people know what I do. So it's just one of those things that are a nice meal replacement. You're talking about replacing your meals. You're talking about, you know, turning all kinds of health issues, you know, into a healing. You know, you go through your healing crises, and then you pretty much you gain probably more energy than anything.
It,
You know, my energy's
just yesterday, I was listening. I was listening to something yesterday, and he was making a reference about the word itself of cure and how it actually translates from, you know, like curing meat and curing things. So, what it is and how he put it really seemed to make sense to me. He said that as you frame it with that choice, with that word that you're curing, you're actually giving the existing condition permission to remain
right,
instead of
right.
shifting it completely out of that context so that it actually is it's already healed, right? It's a mind shift. You know, you're just shape shifting the mindset, and the rest will follow. It's just natural law of attraction of how it
It,
transforms. Again, and here we go back on the topic
well
of the
said.
day
Totally
is
is.
an
It
inside
totally
job,
is. You know,
right?
curing dealing with pigs. You know, salt cures, and you know, cure something reserve. Exactly.
Yes. And so I've used that term loosely myself. You know, I use it in my communication all the time, but after hearing that bit of thought yesterday, I thought it was worth consideration to reframe
Yes.
and you know, move in the right direction instead of remaining, you know, in a thought process that isn't of service. And again, it's always the self-analytical, you're doing your homework, you're writing it down or figuring it out or sorting it out. This was a part of that's the transformation. And for me, the P thing was the accelerant. I've done all sorts of modalities. I've worked at the inside job for a long time. I mean, I can look at tapes from 20 years ago on stage, and I was talking this same language, but there was always missing. There was missing clues. It's all this giant jigsaw puzzle and you find pieces, and those are like the aha moments. The epiphany, and all of a sudden, boom, there it is, and you go, that one fits. And the story goes on because we rewrite the story every moment we breathe, every thought we process. So, if
Isn't
we
that
don't
an
take
inside
command of the
job too?
director, producer, it's a total inside job, no matter which way you frame it. Metaphorically speaking, in literal terms as well, you can process everything when you connect all those dots that you are. If we are the image of God, then who are we talking to? Right? In the I
Right.
am, it's an acknowledgement of all source. You're totally connected. So you don't have to have an iconistic, position or a person of power, a guru, so to speak, of any kind, because we all have the same gift. Everyone, no one's excluded. It's just a notification. Hey, you have permission. If you want it, I give it to you. Right? Everybody can do this. Have the life they imagine at all times, because that's what you're doing. No matter what you're doing, you're imagining it all. You think about it, right,
That's right. Pure
Doc?
within, pure in, within. And it's like the clarity thing is a whole inside, like it just comes from within. When you achieve clarity, you don't see it from outside. It's a feeling, feel in, you see these things and you feel them. And to try to describe to other people is like they're mystified. What is, describe, you have to explain. So you got to go inside of yourself to visually give them this context of what you're actually talking about, because the only way another person will feel how you feel and how you've developed yourself and how you've prepared yourself and how you've changed the frame and made a clarity is if they go through it themselves also. So now they're part of what you've done. They're taking part in all of the mystery and magic, and then suddenly it's not magical anymore. What this world likes to call magic is actually just hidden, or it's just passe, or it's just not part of the curriculum. It's just not part of how we do business today. There are too many middlemen. There are too many ways that this one and that one and that one and this one has to get involved, so that when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, you can eliminate all of those and you can deal with things one-on-one, which is what this basically is. Who needs a doctor? Now, if your hand gets cut off or you get shot,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Then I can understand the hands of
Yeah,
medicine.
yeah. Well, when each individual, and it is each individual, decidedly chooses to recognize that they are the director, the producer, and the star of the movie that they are creating. They do their own costume and makeup. They're their set designers. They can write themselves in or out of any scene at any time they choose, and all they have to do is put their story in perspective. They are running their own movie, and we all are. Every one of us are doing the same thing, and if we start namasteing each other and recognizing that we're all just doing the same thing in our own fashion, in our own creativity, I figure if you show up and show your true colors and that you're just truly genuine, and you just live your authentic self. You're not just selling some bullshit line, wearing a mask, hiding behind a veil. You're actually just showing up being yourself. And if everybody could understand the responsibility and the awesome opportunity that lays at hand, it's all right there. It's not a huge secret. It's really not. The gifts are given in every language. The gifts are given in every scriptural main frames, you know, in the simplest terms and the longest verses. It's all there. We
It's all
are responsible for all of the. We are the gods that I am, and that's not being like narcissistic or out of line. I'm just connecting with the whole embodiment of it, realizing I'm a part of that cell. And if
yes,
we
indeed.
recognize that at all times with respect and honor, responsibility, and loving kindness, man, what a world we'll live. And I find
Huh.
that with the P people, which is why I love the P people, man. What an awesome tribe. It doesn't get any better than this, man. I mean, in my whole life, absolutely unconditionally, I've never met higher vibe people ever. Ever. It's blowing my mind. The conversations that I am privileged to and honored to have with so many amazing people like yourself. Because
Thank
I
you.
see the God in you as you see it in me, and we knew that from the first moment we laid eyes on each other, brother. It was so
Yeah.
easy to see,
Thank you, brother.
you
I
know.
mean, it really is
And
awesome. I
and
mean,
and the thing is that they're all over the world, man. The people that we seek are everywhere. All you have to do is show up. You know, show up, right? And you can magnetically draw the energy you prefer. Absolutely.
that's the thing. That's the dope thing you said, because when you show love, it's kind of effortless when you're just, true to yourself. When somebody gives you hate, you gotta hear them. They gotta me. The hate is really, you've got to really put a lot of effort into hate and dishonesty, and it just tears down your friend. But a lot of people, when it's easy for us to connect because of we're facing our own self. It's like that mirror. It's like sometimes it could be like the Bruce Lee scene. What's that Chinese Connection where you got all the mirrors in there. You're going, looking at yourself from different angles, and then these are reflections of you. We're all reflections, and there's some pretty creative, pretty talented, and pretty damn smart people that's down. It's for everybody. There's no cost. You know what I mean? There's no cost. You've got people speaking miracles. People still doubt, but so many things have transformed for people, and I've been privy to see some awesome, awesome people and some awesome layers come off of people that this isn't going anywhere. People have stopped doing it, and that's fine. People have started, and that's even better. But as far as what no government can take away from you, no,
Hey,
I don't know.
I heard a story. I had the privilege this morning of having a just magical conversation with my dear friend Monica Shute, Chongo
Oh,
Churanga, and
and
she is just one of my favorite human beings. She is just always such a delight. She told me a story that I want to share because I think it's amazing. There is a shaman in Peru, and he's not on any social media, this, that, and the other. This guy has been a complete breatharian for 40 years. The only thing he has drank is his pee. He's 140 years old. And he was, she learned about him through like a student that one of the few people that he chose to tutor or bring into his own light. And the guy spent like 3 months with this man. And so she got a direct story from a guy who experienced this living soul. 140 years old, hasn't eaten or drinking anything but his pee for 40 years. Amazing, huh?
wow, amazing,
And
amazing.
is he anything that you and I are not by decision? No, he isn't.
This guy,
He is, to me, he He's just showing us the way, brother.
Yeah, I'm
You
glad you
know,
told me. I'm glad
yeah,
to
I
hear
mean,
that.
we are giants among of the humans. We are giants. And all we're doing is standing in our truth, which is love. It's a simple beingness. Doesn't require much thinking. It just imagine yourself in the greatest imagination you can find. To me, I love that Native American wisdom. Face the sunshine, you never see the shadow. But even
Mm,
when you turn your back on the sun and you walk, you are your first shadow. It's very meditative. So as you're walking in solace and taking in the experience,
mhm.
you're drawing in the photosynthesis, and then you have moments of reflection, and they're not bad. They are. You know,
Yeah.
it's just having. To me, I call it the captain and the crew, the subconscious conscious connection. Because the subconscious will always respond in a favorable, cheerleading like manner. Yes, master. What do you want? And so, whatever the conscious mind is streaming, it will just naturally follow, regardless of instinct. People have a tendency to mind fuck themselves to where they're just like, in a world of confusion. But if you reel it all in and find the center and simply breathe and be, and just, find that vibration. It is an ohm, it is a megahertz, it is a zone. And all of it is within you. And the more you drink your pee, the more you wake into that realization, because the pineal gland, the pituitary gland, all of the lymph nodes, all of the whole structure just starts to regenerate and rebuild like nothing else I've ever seen. Nothing. Personally, I am one of the biggest cheerleaders for pee that I know of. I just tell, hey man, you're not drinking your pee. What's wrong with you? What do you like?
Oh
You like
man,
all that
yes.
misery shit? What are you up to, man? Why are you hanging in that zone, man? That place just like it's zero zone. I
I'm
mean,
telling you.
yeah. When I look at Zen, right? I mean, to me, that's just finding your simplest balance, right? But in athletes and other performers and whatnot, they're in the zone, in the zone. They always, refer to that phraseology, right? And then I acronym that idea, and I just call it zeroing out negative energy. You just zero out negative energy. You're in the zone. You're fucking there. You're just in it, and it's beautiful. What a flight that is.
Yeah,
It's amazing. And
yeah.
everybody's got the gift.
Zero is where you
Everybody-
begin. Zero on energy. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
everything births
yeah,
from that. So you definitely want to zero out. You want to ground
yeah.
out. Grounding is important. But and as you I think you broke up when you said something about authenticity. I heard part of it that you can't serve two masters. That's one thing. And there's so many choices to make. There's so many ways of being. There's so many ways of doing. At the end of the day, we're human beings, but we have to be. We got to be about, you know, I think I heard you say it. Who are you being? That was something very big to me early on also. It's about the being, and it's about, being authentic so that you can take the reins fully. But as far as, cleaning your, you know, I tell people with the Holy Ghost, the way the Holy Ghost is oxygen, hydrogen is our eyes, so it's the breathing. Let me start that over. Hydrogen is how we wake up. Carbon is how we fuel up. Oxygen is how we rest. Um, so people call it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Nah, I call it HCO. And I was watching the show now. I just got into the show. I'm about 10 years late. It's called Breaking Bad. A lot of you out there, I'm not a TV watcher, so that's one thing I'm not on time on. But they basically describe the body as basically 98% of it is hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen. And those are the things that you think about now. Now you think about aging your urine, for example. So there's a big trend, or should I say, a big thing. It's a big way to do things where people are aging, and that's actually the nitrogen. Basically, transferring the nitrogen in the in your own soil to what is it again? I think it was oxygen, nitrogen, and creating ammonia, but the ammonia creates tyrosinase. And there's a whole other study on that. It gets really, the wormhole gets crazy, bro. It's really something.
Yeah, well, here's the tie is that we have a universal mind, and that was a gift. That's just a part of the physiological nature of beingness. We have this in our toolbox, whether we see it, recognize it, hone it, or whatever we choose to do or not do with that information. So, we all start on a level playing field, so, the thought process is the driving force. And so when people are having conversations in their mind, here's something I've learned and I observe, and because I do it, everybody can do it, is that it's not what I say, it's what you hear. So if something that comes out of my stream of consciousness triggers something in you, you'll stop and listen to that other conversation, and anything I say after that is blah blah blah. So listening takes a lot of concentration because we're always waiting and jumping into, what do I want to say next, rather than really understanding what the question might be in the first place, or what what somebody's going through. And when we're going through dark, and everybody's done it, this is indoctrinated. Number one, is pounded into people from different pulpits, and it doesn't matter which one it comes from because they're all manipulative, controlling, condescending, disturbing in thought, because it's fear-based and it's all about control. And most people that have that control issue shit, I look at them and I just tell them, your need for control far exceeds my desire to respond, my friend. So whatever you're on, let me know, because I want to make sure I don't take it. Doesn't look like it's working for you. It doesn't look good on you at all. So, the energy can get easier to read, right? When you open up your pineal gland, your pituitary gland, once these glands are starting to really come into a part of the receptor and utilizing all your own electromagnetic fields and protecting and shielding ourselves with our urine from the onslaught of that information coming through technology, because it's in our phones, it's in our hands, it's in every direction you look is a tower, and these are microwave pulses, and they are there for a disturbing reason, and it's not just good Wi-Fi. That's a good cover story, so who are you going to call? The electrician or someone like him? Who's going to be the technical person that sorts out all your technical horseshit when it fries? When you're glazed in, and they find people laying around with a phone in their hand. Really, I mean, it sounds kind of like fantastic, from a Marvel comic book, but take a look around. We're living in a Marvel fucking comic book. That's the matrix we live in, and it is complete. Anything that ever was, ever will be, is, and we are bearing witness. We get to be a part of this giant experience. Now, how are you going to roll? What are you going to do? Who are you going to call? It's an inside fucking job, no matter how you look at it. You got to take responsibility for your shit. Now, I got an idea for a seminar, and I'm working on it. I'm going to PowerPoint the hell out of this, and it's simply entitled, You Got to Enemize That Shit. Because people are mentally, emotionally, and physically not moving the energy. That shit's all blocked up, and they stuff that shit, and you can see it. It's so apparent, it's blatant, and it's like, oh, I'd never drink my pee, and I go, oh, really? And, oh, that's so disgusting. But you do take a lot of, oh yeah, I take this, that, and the other. I got this pain, I got that problem, I got all this shit going wrong with me. But they're so disgusted they won't drink their pee. And I look at them and I said, it's real obvious to me that you don't drink your pee. It shows. It's clear to me. It's your choice. I'm not judging it. It's just an observation. But you can read that energy on people effortlessly when you're a pee drinker. It opens up a completely different new set of receptors that are connected by that stem cell energy cycling system. It's a recycle, and it works. Why anybody wouldn't understand the true nature of our amniotic fluid refueling, restructure, rebuilding, re-enhancing, realize what is the real deal, man. And it is in the pee. I don't care what people do, say, think, or how they behave, but I guarantee them, if they drink their pee, I'd recognize it. It's so easy to recognize, don't you think, Doc? Can you see it in the people you've ever met or dealt with that are pee drinkers? Do you see a difference in who they are being?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I used to chill with one in particular, and he would get the best glasses in his house. So that when I woke up, if I slept downstairs, I woke up, I get a nice glass, champagne glass, to pour my stuff in. That's the level of respect that he had for it. I have another friend. I have a lot of friends, actually. I know models that do it. I mean, it's beautiful. I hope she's listening. But there are some people that are just, it's the way of being. You ever heard of Moses Alou? Moses Alou, baseball player. This guy played for the Mets and the Astros, and that was something that he never wore batting gloves because he would pour pee on his hands. Also, Chad Ochocinco Johnson. This stuff is everywhere, but it's in plain sight. But it's shunned upon because people are made to feel a way because it's just not right. And if everybody was doing this, what kind of world would this be? Now, me, I eat fruit. I eat a lot of fruit. I eat raw because it's I eat a little bit of cooked because it's out here brick, not Daz Band, but brick. Like Tony, you film Tony. The total 100%, 103-degree opposite of what I'm going through right now. I'm seeing Dunkin' Donuts is chilly and shit in here, but that's okay. We are living amongst it, living amongst the realest times. But it's the best of times and it's the worst of times because when everybody said 2012, this is when everything is gonna go shit, right? Shit, the world's gonna end. All kind of conspiracy theories and all kind of things came out of it. It's still going on, bro, because look at how many transformations have happened.
It's going on better than ever.
This is it. You can't. Nah.
Well, the thing is, it always goes back. It always goes back to what you pay attention to, what you observe, what you think about, what you draw towards you. The choices are all out there. Whatever one you want is there. And it takes concentration, if you really want to focus on the goodness that you have inside you. Because you're battling against some extreme forces on the outside. So if you focus on the outside for any resolve, you're looking in the wrong direction. And that's where sun gazing, too. What a power tool. Sun gazing is a power tool.
Yes, indeed.
Man, blam. Talk about zeroing in right on into the universal connection.
Yeah.
There's your sun rising. Good Lord.
There's your
Hallelujah.
way to get rid of jet lag. Jet lag is no more once you have the sun. What you do, you get up when the sun rises, wherever you are. Get up, you look at the sun for, 15 seconds. Sunset, you look at the sun.
Yeah.
You're not synchronized.
Yeah.
It's that simple. But, they're all kind of, nice drugs and things to sleep people. And, sleep people. This is the way of the world. Cutting out those middlemen. What about this?
Well, everything we've ever been told is exactly opposite of what we should be doing. We should never, you shouldn't look at the sun. You better put on this bullshit lotion made out of petroleum products and poison. So we make sure we really fuck your skin up for good. Everything, oh God, don't drink distilled water. You better, and you better get more fluoride in your toothpaste and mouthwash. I mean, I look at that and I go, do you realize how much poison you're putting in your body at all? I mean, have you any clue what you're doing to yourself?
Yeah.
It's just poison after poison after poison. And when you walk around in our culture, our consumer consciousness is blatantly gluttonous to a point of disgusting. We have such a, I was having this conversation with Monica this morning, and this is something I've given some consideration to and thought about for a while, and it's all in the parasite conversation. Now, I've processed some parasites out of my body which are very graphic for me, and I photographed them, and I actually put them in one of the videos just for evidence. But more importantly is recognizing that we host these parasites and we induce them. So every time we put something in our mouth, the potential exists for us to either be, creating new ones, but more importantly, feeding the host. We're the hosts. We're feeding them. It's like a banquet. It's like a buffet. Now, if you do 3 meals a day and drinking soda and this and that and the other, whatever your junk is, doesn't matter, because then you're never hungry. You're just feeding parasites. The parasites are hungry. So that being said, if you take that microcosmic image that you would have under a petri dish in a microscope, and you're looking and you're seeing all this movement, all this, parasitical movement, we'll macroscope that thing out and then take it into a whole, like a species called the humans, the human beings. So now you take a bigger petri dish and you got the whole human specimen, floating around. We're the fucking parasites. If you compare it to the rest of the balance of nature, all the other species that have hearts, minds, this, that, and the other functions, all living matter, because we're all the same connector. We all have that same, strand. It's photosynthesis. If we have the air, we have our pee, and we have the sun, we're good. Just like a tree, a plant, this or that, and the other, we're all good. The natural ingredients are all present and accounted for when we recognize. But the parasites are really hungry little bastards, man. And again, I'm going back again right to where this seminar, man. You got to enemize that shit, because this is so what it's about, is because people get stuck. They mentally get stuck, they emotionally get stuck, and they stuff themselves in order to pacify whatever that need is. And the more that cycle continues without interruption, which most people are doing, 3 meals a day and snacks on top, they think they're on a cruise ship somewhere. It is to the allopathic death march. And people are just silently killing themselves suicidally in a slow rate, without even taking responsibility for any of it. And you look at them and you go, do you realize what you're doing to yourself? And that's really, hey, it's, you're like, what are you doing? What are you saying? And I have nothing but love, because, hey, I grew up in a family like this, and I've gone through it myself. So I'm not pointing fingers or judging anything. Experientially speaking, I've had to come through an awful lot of behavioral choices of feeding the fucking monkey on my back. Oh, and the parasites were everywhere.
You're not the only one.
Jeez, man.
You're not the only one.
They still are. They still are. That's why drinking pee is it's a cleansing agent on a daily basis. Don't you think?
Yeah. Think about how far
you can be breathing all that shitty air, all that other stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it's a cut to the chase. You don't even need that. You don't need the, just take the chaser. Yeah, that'll do it. You know what I mean?
You came a long
I'm good
way.
with the shooter, man. Keep me those shots.
How long you been doing? You said 11 months now, right?
Yeah.
The amazing cleanup job that
going
happens.
Into,
it's crazy.
And I have taken responsibility no matter what I choose. I mean, even what I choose to eat or this, that, and the other. My body is running at such a high frequency now, it's off the chart. Yeah. And I just listen to my body every day, and respond to it accordingly in every way. And so, I balance myself between my walking and exercise, my rest and sleep, my communication time and my computer time and all that stuff, my time where I spend with my pen, and all of these things to me are just, I don't have a schedule. This is like the only thing that I schedule is right now, this once a week show, which so far, so good. Here we are in show number 4. And, you know, we've had to make it up and change it every time because there's been these little snafus. And again, it brings it back to who am I being? I haven't freaked out about any of this stuff. I mean, I didn't know how I was going to really conduct this thing we're doing right now until we were doing it. This is the first for me at this format. And I'm digging it, man. This is working.
Yeah, you're establishing
And
order in this
again, we're back
universe.
to
That's how you establish
right.
order. You
I
know,
kept, you
chaos.
know, I kept minimizing the shit. You know, in every one of these circumstances, shit kept piling up, and I kept minimizing it so that I wouldn't get the emotional, mental, or physical blockage. I've been flowing free, totally free. And it's not like I'm shit free because shit comes in every direction, every size, shape, color, background, and belief. Shit is everywhere. But as long as you recognize it, handle it, own that shit, animize that shit, move that shit, because that's what we're designed to do, not plug it up, right?
No, you're
So,
supposed to let it
you
out,
know, it's a
man.
free
Let it
for all
out.
out there, folks. Yeah, man.
It's free. It's free for all.
Let, hey, let that shit go, man.
I mean,
You know,
yeah.
oh, I've been so constipated. Oh, really? Oh, God, what are you telling me? You're full of shit? Big surprise. Wow,
Yeah.
you work at it too. You do a good job, by the way. You know,
Yeah.
I
Well,
can see that.
you know, people come there and then pop shit. But it's crazy because I go in an establishment like this one. No one ever uses the bathroom, and I'm staring at donuts here, but I'm not interested in any. No thanks. But it's pretty amazing, man. You have the tools that are out here that we take for granted, that are so abundant. The sunlight, you can grow, you can potentially grow things in certain places, but I was walking in this summer and picking blueberries off of, what is it called again? Blackberries off of a tree. I mean, it's all around you, but at the same time, you have to open your eyes to it. But with the parasites, though, they love to organize themselves. They have their own order too. They're very smart. So in the case of a candida, for example, when once that begins, let's say the first time we ever had meat was when we had teeth, or when our parents tried to give us some meat. First of all, speaking true, I remember I was like 3 or 4. I think it might have been younger than that. But the moment that happens is when those worms in that meat anchor inside of your body and say, "Okay, come on, let's chill out here and let's create a demand." It creates demand where you say, "Oh, feed me, we want more." So that happens with meat. That happens with most cooked foods. It happens with sugar. But when the case happens that candida gets into an overgrowth, because you're not supposed to kill candida, you're supposed to balance it. So when you have a candida overgrowth is when the sugar demands and the immunity drops, and that's when you create this biotic, situation. But it's, it's all managed, and the detox side of things. When you get into UT, the detox is crazy because this is when you'll see people go through some serious detox because it's like all systems go. The shit is going down. It's like we got to get all of this
There's a
out of
guy
here.
this morning going through a bunch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anybody
so
that's done it knows it. I mean, again, I learned everything about aged urine from Monica to begin with. And we were talking about that this morning about the ingesting of aged urine, in the doing it in body rub, bath, enemas, eyes. Eyes I wouldn't recommend. It's pretty strong stuff. But even if you ingest it, just do a small shooter, like an ounce or something, like you're doing a shot glass, because it's so potent. I mean, that's the good stuff. The longer it ages, the better it gets. The more orimus that's in the bottom, man, you're looking at the silk. That's the real deal stuff.
oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you a
And
story.
we get
Let me tell you.
such a opportunity.
Here's what happened to me. I got into some trouble, and I got hospitalized, and I was all bruised, and my eyes were shot. And my good friend told me, take some of that stuff and put it in your eye. I decided to age it. Not only did I age it, I was kind of crazy. I met the 112-year-old fella, Bernardo Apollo. I took a picture with him one time and spoke to him, and he told me to put cayenne pepper in your eyes. So guess what I did? I took the aged urine, I took the cayenne pepper, I took some vitamin C, and I put it inside of my eyes. And my eyes were clear. Clear. In a matter of weeks.
That's
and,
crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you can find a good natural vitamin C, of course. I forgot which one I used. I think I might have bought a formula from a naturalist. But, you know, this stuff miraculously, you know, just push stuff out of the way. And so in your essence, you know, and that's another thing you treat like a very fine, you know, fine, delicate material. You spent the time aging this stuff. It's finer than mine. You know, you take a little bit. I haven't really gotten into the aging. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to mix it with kombucha. It's sort of a struggle for me, but I'm learning more about it. And I've seen some good people, good things happen to people with that.
Yeah, well, I recommend to everybody, you should, you know, age it, you know, collect as much as you can, see it for the value that it is. You know, Rosalind sends hers to a tech analyst in Australia, and her, you know, results, she's got gold in there. And I trust that once we all start to realize the value of our own, you know, ORIN and the Oramus and the value of its aging process, and as it regenerates itself in its own self, it is so powerful and magnificent. I got 15 gallons myself. And the oldest is like, gosh, it's got to be 11 months, going on 10, 11 months old now. And it's black, it's silky, and it's got Oramus layers in the bottom that are just, you know, heavenly, man. And I've also got these gallons being charged direct grounding with copper.
Oh, nice.
Outside, we have a copper line that comes in and circles the pyramid, goes through a small cistern of his and mine. We put a combined, you know, kind of the house, you know, it's a tribal thing. We figure that as time goes on, more and more people that come to, you know, embrace the Orin Town idea, that everybody contributes to this particular cistern, and it becomes a connected part of the everything, because it'll be grounded by copper, and it will, you know, keep us all connected energetically. And really, I mean, it's really, I had, Daniel tied me up a piece of copper that's kind of a small intertwined coil, like a, you know, elongated marble or something. And I have it in the bottom of my constant jar, the one that I'm always constantly filling. And so it takes on that energy immediately, always. It starts getting dark in colors. I mean, it doesn't matter what I put in there. It just starts its generator. And it's just awesome. It's amazing.
How big is it?
I can't believe how magical this is. The whole thing, like about that big. It's a gallon jug. And yeah, it's a coiled up piece of copper, and it just kicks ass in there. It's really something.
That's awesome.
And so,
That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, and so this is the whole thing with the alchemy. You know, we have this self-perpetuating generator within us. Once we understand it, accept it, harness it, and enjoy it, you know, embrace that shit, man. Piss is the shit.
It is.
It is the rockin' deal. It's the happening. It's happening. Every day. Yep. I mean, I look at my life every single day and I go, my God, I get another day of this? It's a Marvel comic book, man. It's marvelous. There's cartoons everywhere. It's happening.
Oh, cats are becoming like the super friends, man. Serious. I mean, you've got, you know, when you copper, you know, I've heard some things about how copper transmutes into gold, and how, you know, your brain uses copper. We lose these minerals with all the crap they tell us what to do, you know, go get milk and school in the morning and all that shit. But you have dry minerals in your brain. It's, I think it's 5% of your brain is dry minerals, and then over time we, you know, do all this processing. But we are, like you said, we're the generator. We're the processors. So why process things and then put it in when you can just process it yourself? I mean, inside job. You're keeping it
Well,
in our own temple. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead,
and
bro.
John Armstrong explained it in his data pretty clearly. You know, the possibility, the potential that existed for everybody, even in the worst circumstance with the darkest, dankest, stankiest growth that you could possibly pump out of your body, and it would still be the magic elixir to turn the thing around.
Yeah,
You know, now I
yeah.
take that experience, you know, those were experiences. That wasn't failed data. That was pretty profound experience that that man brought forth. Regardless, you look at it and you go, and there's contemporary stories, you know, within the symposium. You know, like Danielle, man, her story is really amazing. She's a walking testimonial of
Wow.
fortitude and strength and grace and faith. I mean, that girl rocks, you know. And so,
Wow.
you know, you look at it, different people turn diabetes, their cancer, their, you know, their skin problems, their this, their that. Okay, you know, it shows to me, and I have it from my own experience, that I can turn the shit around simply by
Yeah.
drinking my pee. Now, how hard is that? Not hard. What, you know, did I have a consideration at first? Of course I did.
Well,
The thought of
the
drinking my
only
pee, I thought that's so weird.
the
You
only thing
know,
you got to
I'm
do is
so
unfuck your
curious. Why
mind.
would I do that? You know? Yeah,
Just gotta
yeah,
the whole mind
exactly.
fuckery that you gotta
It's
clear.
totally what it is.
That's all.
Yeah.
We see this shit
Once
on
you get
TV all the
past
time.
that point and you realize what you're doing, you know,
Yes.
I so recognize what I'm doing on a daily, moment to moment basis as I breathe. You know, I really get it. I've been doing intermittent fasting every day. I eat once
Nice.
a day, usually in the afternoon, 2, 3, 4, you know, and so I give about an hour of my day
Yeah.
towards food consumption or less. That's it.
That's good.
And the rest of the time I do processing.
Yeah.
And it
That's
works
the
for
way.
me right now. You know, between drinking my pee and getting a couple of baths lately, that was the thing, man. 2 gallons of aged urine in a hot bath. I swear to God, it was heavenly.
Oh yeah, you
My
rocking
body
with that.
felt so energized. Oh, I was rocking in the free world on that one. The pee world. Rocking in the pee world.
There you go. There you
Indeed.
go. That's the way,
Yeah.
man. I can't wait to eat, man. I haven't eaten yet.
Yeah.
But I gotta eat when I get off this interview. But this feels good. I got a little kombucha here, whatever. This is all that's in the hood. But yeah, man. I mean, that intermittent fasting, bro. Like, I found out about it. I helped this girl lose 100 pounds. Because I was so jazzed by I'm trying to remember the brother's name. The guy's name. I think his name was Brad Pilon, and he wrote a book called Eat Stop Eat. It was the first intermittent book I read. Then I read a book by Tanya Savasta called Quantum Eating, and basically that taught me to just stop eating at 2 or 3 o'clock. And I had done that for about 8 years. Just quit eating. But I have to give credence to my mom, props to my mom, because my mother, when we got home from school, we ate, and that was it. Sundown. I think that's one of the things that preserved me. And my siblings, because we once the sun that went down, it was like, that's it. Now we were eating breakfast at the time, but I figured out also that breakfast ain't nothing for maybe a baby, maybe growing, but after 25 you don't require all of that shit. You don't require all those nutriments. You're not growing, and in sync with nature, most of the things that are available are fruit, nuts. Not supposed to be eating no damn bacon, sausage, chicken, turkey, whatever it is, shit they frying.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that. You're doing a real disservice to the body. You're creating death. Really. You're creating a fucking morgue. But, you have to live and learn.
Well, I gained some. When I first started the UT, it was allegedly Dave and then Andrew Norton Weber. Those were both my first witness of making my decisions.
Yes.
And so you know, I look at the just the difference, and people even say this. They say, "Man, I saw your like early videos and stuff, and you've changed so much." And you know, I the things that I have noticed, I've calmed down a lot. I can be an excitable child, but I'm just like a child in enthusiasm anymore, and I feel it. I mean, I just feel so grateful, you know, so
Oh
alive
yeah.
every day, every moment, in every way, and we're being so guided, you know, and gifted. I'm just like a kid who was given a whole bag of candy, and all I want to do is give it away, give it away, give it away now. Now, in all the years that I had opportunities to be, you know, kind of in positions of salesmanship and marketing and teaching other people techniques, there was always an underlying agenda. There was always something up my sleeve with the glad hand and the business card and the fancy little tie and whatever else I was doing. But now I don't have to do anything but give a shit away. Ha ha. P is free. It's up to you, not up to me. I don't have to turn in a sales quota. I don't have to do anything except be me. Be me all the time. And all I ever think about is encouraging other people to consider the option themselves, because everybody has it's so much more fun in the play box when nobody's throwing sand and hitting each other over the head with Tonka toys. You know,
Yeah.
when everybody's just happy, getting along, pee perfectly. Man, it's just wonderful.
You just lived
You know,
out a
people
nice
might wonder.
testimony. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you know,
Yeah.
people might wonder why I call this show the ORIN Oracles, because I'm going to talk about P a lot. Hello. That's going to happen. You know, so everybody that's joining us and hanging with us and have any idea what's going on here, I hope you understand that is the purpose. So if you're joining us, thank you for joining us. And I just take a moment for, hey, a little station break for, you know, a little shout out to my dear brother from another mother, Mr. A.K. King. And
Yes, sir.
this man put
Shout out.
together a great vision. It's called the Water Life Symposium. And it happened last September on the first occasion, and it's happening again this year in September 21, 2, 3 in the Westgate in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ah,
$35 gets you registered. Yeah, man, can you buy that? I mean, $35, come on now.
that's a
You
great
know,
deal.
and the thing is that it provides such a beautiful platform for community, you know, for the love hug, you know, so we can all get all warm and fuzzy and just be
Oh yeah.
ourselves. No judgment. There's no ageism, no sexism, no racism. There's no ism. It's an I-ism. It's an all I, you know, and I see you like you see me in a perfect godlike harmony. And
Hey
that's
man,
so beautiful the way it is. And
you look at the keyboard.
we all have this gift that yeah,
The
it's
keyboard.
just choosing to share it and
Just
accept
move
it
the
and
S to the
receive it.
A. I is SM. It's just shift for one letter. You got I am. So there's no need for no isms, schisms, and that's the dope thing. I'm not missing next year. You know, I was supposed to go last year, and I missed it due to scheduling. But next year, Vegas, right? AK is a visionary, bro.
Yeah, Vegas, September 21, 2, and 3. And here's something that I will, here's a, now this is between you and me, Doc, okay? Okay, this is just between me and you.
All right, we ain't gonna tell
But there's
nobody else.
rumor has it that some people are looking at organizing like and renting houses like B&Bs and stuff and doing kind of a hangout before, during, and after and sharing some meals and some time. If we're going to make it that far, we might as well make the hang time worth it. So that's
Mm.
between you and me,
All
okay?
right,
You know,
that
don't
you
let
know it.
anybody else know that.
Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
That's just an insider thing.
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
VIPs, but
yeah.
you know, very limited. I got them. Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, there it is, and I consider myself always an honorary member of this beautiful, group, this tribe, and I so am grateful for some of the most amazing people I've had the privilege of meeting in my life to date. This
Yes.
is, I saw a thing. I saw it. A friend of mine posted it, and it had this like a clock for 12 months, right? And it was 2017, and it was like, doubt and depression and fear and this and that and blah 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 blah. And as the clock kept going, it kept adding all these things, and then it goes to midnight, and it starts 2018. And as the clock goes, it's like love, joy, happiness, blah blah, all the goodness. And I'm thinking to myself, I even said so in comment. I said, man, that sounds exactly like my last 2018 sounds like last year to me already, man. And this is just day one. I'm in, man. Let's do this. Let's
I
do this
mean,
thing.
I remember that transition from 16 to 17 and now 17 to 18. This is going to be a good one. It adds up to the number 11. For all my numerologists out there, 11 is a master number. So we're about to get it popping this year, man. I'm an 11, so I'm happy behind that. But all the numbers are special. Last year there was one. So this is going to be partnerships. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's going, we're going to meet up, combine. At the end of the day, I think this is really where it's going to be like it's really special. But yeah, man. I mean, all the blessings are here for us, man. We got these ways of connecting. Yeah, I'm still in awe behind how we can connect like this and how all these people can comment. I'm seeing some really nice comments, but you're in your spot, I'm in mine, and we're just
I haven't been able to see any comments. Yeah.
I think I see a couple.
Well,
of
the thing is that everybody is welcome here, and you are my special guest, and I am the host, and it's our prerogative. And I am limited right now. If I had an assistant with me to like register everything that's going on here, that would be fine. But I am the on-air guy, and so I really can't manage all the rest of this. But I love you and thank you and appreciate you and embrace you. And I'm so happy, whoever's out there, that you're here with us now.
I gotta love
This
you, bro.
is my beautiful, special brother from another mother, Doc Precise, if not from New York.
I didn't name myself.
Oh, here's something else. I gotta throw another ad in real quick while I'm thinking about it, because I always forget to do this stuff, and it's important to me to say so. Is that the book donation thing has already started. People have been making donations to paypal.me.me/WEEDU. With a $25 donation towards that account, you will be guaranteed a signed and numbered copy, and the first 100 people that do this have that guarantee. So with all that being said, again, it's paypal.me/WEEDU. We do SHIVAMBU because it is the thing we do. Drink your pee, it's good for you, and it's all free. Okay, with that all being said, we're done with our commercial break. Back to now, which is already in progress.
Yes, we are. Getting a comment,
Hey,
Brother Zodo. He said I had a dark scar on my face from that appeared and nothing worked, and he used red clay mixed with activated charcoal and tea tree for 2 weeks to no avail. The moment he used UT, it started to disappear almost instantly. And that just goes to show you that's the power of UT. I mean, you want your feet soft, you want scars to disappear, you want, all kind of bruises to heal. I've seen people's toes burnt off, or people's toes from diabetes, so rotted that they're about to fall off. And in 40 days, what I'm saying, they are able to heal and mend that same toe, It's pretty magical stuff. Any questions? I'm dying to answer some
Yeah,
questions.
well, Rosalind's the one who turned me on to pissin' boots. You know, wearing rubber boots. You know, regular knee-high kind of rubber boots, and you put urine in them. Now, I did this in 2 hours. It was transformational. It was amazing because I had a fungi in my left foot that had been there for a couple of years. And it's been slowly, but it was still like, it was pretty gnarly. And that toenail, it all just fell off. It didn't take long
Wow.
either. It was just a matter of a few weeks. And there was no pain, no blood, no agony, no nothing. It just went away, and the new nail was growing underneath. And I thought, this is really something. And
Amazing.
but the thing that I learned from that experience, that it works better if I have like some socks on, and then my feet aren't sloshing around and picking up friction or any of that. That it just kind of is a warm fuzzy thing, but just totally saturated with pee. Man, that's the shit right there. It works so good.
Yeah, Dr.
So
Roz
good.
put me on to that
And
too.
I thank you,
Yeah,
Roz.
I got the lesson, man. She rocks.
Yeah, yeah,
That really works. You
yeah,
know. So I got 2 pairs of those, and I
yeah.
wear them around at night. You know, I sleep really good. You know, I was trying to like sleep with them long time, sleep with them, but I kept waking up, which was kind of strange. But if I have them on for a couple of hours, you know, all my pain, like I feel like pain is gone. I work out. I work out every day. So I do like kettlebells. I do like, you know, sort of like qigong movements. I make up my own stuff. I don't really rock with the gym anymore. So, I'll go in my house and I'll make swing the kettlebells and make sure that I'm using my internal organs to swing. And then I put on those boots, man, and like there's no fatigue. You can say goodbye to lactic acid because you'll never really feel a lot of pain. One time I swole up. I was in the gym and I swole up so much. I was eating 1 meal a day and skipping days. People thought I was on steroids. That's how powerful that stuff is, because it's a healer. You're healing your muscles. You're actually you're inflaming yourself by working out. You drink, run in the bathroom. I was running in the bathroom between sets because you're making a physiological change in your body. But also, dry fasting. So now we're working against the grain. The body's trying to rest, and irritation. The irritation of something like a workout where you're inflaming yourself when you're trying to rest is going to cause extra growth. That's another secret right there. And you do it at night and then go to sleep, because the best thing you can do to create HGH is go to bed or meditate. You will grow, you will lose weight,
Yeah.
you'll do whatever you need.
The body does require rest. Yeah. Now, Wiley Schmidt, he recently completed a fast. I think, if I remember correctly, I think it was like 21 days.
Yes,
And and he worked out all the way through it. He just kept gaining energy. So he's just another living testament of what's possible. And Monica, her intent, she started yesterday, but she's intending 40 days. That's her intent. I said, well, you go, girl. She's
I intended
primed.
30.
She's totally primed 30. For it.
Nice. I stopped at 15. I had watermelon in between it, but that is a powerful cleanup. You're in for 30 days and still
well, and you were
powerful.
And you were talking earlier about like during detox, and that's something that I recall very well from the early stages of all my urine therapy. My body was changing so rapidly. I mean, I went down to 144 pounds. My skin was hanging on me. I mean, literally hanging on me all over my chest, my arms. I mean, I was like looking at myself going, my God, what happened? But I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was in for. My body was releasing toxins at every level. I was eating nothing but fruit, to begin with. But then when I went through the 14-day fast, the 11-day fast, the 7-day fast, each fast, it all, it was process. And we're always processing. And this is the thing I know. I mean, as I watch you know, the environment around me being consistently bombarded, you know,
Yeah.
from aircraft particularly, but for other elements. And, you know, I'm protecting myself every day. You know, I realize that it's my responsibility to do so.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to protect myself by adding more poison to what's already poison, because that just doesn't make any sense. And
No.
I did that forever. I just kept poisoning myself, you know? And after a while you go, what the fuck? You know, I mean, am I poisoning myself to just pacify myself? Because whatever I'm doing, it's certainly not heading in the direction that I actually want to go.
Right.
You know, so it takes a lot to change habits. And here's the thing, I guarantee you this one is real critical. It's not about what you're eating necessarily, it's about what triggers you to be eating in the first place. And if you can source the triggers, then you get a better handle, a better mastery of why you're eating it in the first place. It doesn't matter, you know, you can be picking out on all sorts of things, you know, but it's it's the mouth thing, it's the oral fixation. It's like gotta have something in my mouth all the time. That is something that we have been embedded with. And it takes a lot to change that conversation of habit. And that's all it is. Eating is really far more the deepest addictive habit, because, you know, you can drink and smoke and you can do all these other things and drop all that stuff and be Mr. Clean. But I'll guarantee you, food, salt, especially the gateway drugs, you know, if you have any addiction to sugar and salt, you're sunk. I mean, it's so easy and effortless to fall back into that position. It's effortless because it's so comfortable. Whatever triggers us to do that, we respond, and all of a sudden there we are doing that. And you go, interesting, you know. It's, you know, and I look at it, especially when you drink your pee, you always have your barometer. So you always know how to measure where you're really at, whether your pH is acidic or, you know, the other, alkaline. And so, you know, it's a perfect thing to do every day. Drink that pee, man. You can test your body, what's going on. And the detox never stops. And this is what I guarantee to people. No matter how healthy you are, what you eat, you can just be on distilled water, whatever. But your pee is going to change. It changes all the time. And that's all good. It's a good thing.
That's
You
a
know,
great
that's the
thing.
way I look at it. Oh, it did the way it tastes and this, that, and the other. It's like, who gives a fuck? Drink it. You know, it's good for
Yeah.
you. Who said medicine was going to always taste good? You know, and especially when you're killing the parasites, because when we're killing the parasites, all we want is sugar and salt. You know, I mean, you want to gorge on that kind of shit, no matter the form, no matter how it comes in. And you know, when you start the fasting and you start changing your body and your habit and your protocol, you know, you start noticing a real difference. You can physically feel the difference. You can emotionally feel the difference, mentally feel the difference. I do constantly. I mean, it's like what an awakening. It's like this great freedom, you know, this great awakening is always going on, going like, wow, really? Just drinking my tea? Get the fuck out of here. Really? Yeah, really. It's that simple. It's not hard, you know. Why people
I'm
choose to make it so hard, they just got to get over,
I'm laughing at Danielle
you
Audrey.
know. You got to
She
get
asked me
over
to
that
co-host.
shit.
Pissing ice cubes. That would be a good idea.
So you're getting comments. You're getting comments on your screen,
Am I getting what? Oh yeah, yeah.
Doc.
On the live feed,
You're
I'm
getting,
seeing
yeah.
comments.
See, because I don't see anything moving. My whole lower screen is just people's placards that are on.
Oh,
You
sorry for
know, I
you.
mean, so
Sorry for you,
I
my
can't
friend.
really see anything.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
after the
So you
feed
know,
is
I'm
done,
glad
you'll
you're
see
getting
it.
the feed and responding.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I trust I will. You know.
yeah, it's good looking, good comments though. But what you were saying earlier just now, about those parasites, bro. This is I think there's a guy, got to give him props on it. MOE, Master Earth, talks about the alien organizations, which are the parasites thing. The people are worried about stuff out there. Everything is always out there. So we got to continue on that theme of an inside job. It's all inside. All of this shit is inside. When you bring in the parasites, and you bring them shits in. You know, they're coming from meat, they're coming from sugar. How come if you put an orange inside of a bag, you know, tie that bag and, you know, worms and things come out of it? You know, Pasteur wasn't playing. And, you know, it's not pasture the fields, it's pasteurization to kill it, which is fucking up the food, boiling it, and killing the energy because they're the fear of parasites. But these things aren't all your enemies. Some of them are your friends. We have to know which ones are beneficial, which ones are not. Yeah. We know that those things that they're selling us out here in these foods are not beneficial. It's important to have them that day. It's also important dry fast on a full moon, for example, because, you know, that word luna, luna is the moon, and then tick, of course, which is why the werewolf howls at night. Lunatics, where people are supposedly go crazy. No, you're supposed to actually, you know, fast, rest, and, you know, put those, you know, intentions out there for, you know, better next whatever. But it's really powerful to do these fastings. Fasting is a must. We fast every night when we go to sleep. We dry fast. No one doesn't dry fast, and no one didn't drink that. We were swimming, like you said, and I'm fluid for 9 months. You know, there's models up there, there's baseball players, there's basketball players, all kinds of people that do this. As a matter of fact, there's a raw vegan coming into the NBA. He's about 19 years old, and I have to pitch out for him to drink. The Venus Williams and them were doing it. I'm sure of it because Venus cured her disease. And one of my friends was the one that gave her a book. I can't remember the book, but turned her on to live food eating. So, you know, people will do things, but they will not promote it. You know, they will never promote it. So, you know, keeping things inside, but doing the inside work.
Every industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every industry relies on the other industries to do their job, meaning that you have the agricultural industrial complex working with the pharmaceutical industrial complex and the military industrial complex, and now we're dealing with the information and technological industrial complex, and these are all being used against us. All of it is being education. It's all being used against us. So you're always going to have to look to yourself to heal anything, always. And the sooner you do it, the better you'll feel. You know, the sooner you turn tragedy into comedy, you realize that you just shifted the energy and you're in the healing process. And that takes many forms. But, you know, as long as we stay stuck in that place, well, who are you going to call? You know, it's like we got to get out of our own way. And we all do it. I never, you know, I mean, fuck. I mean, I've had to work. I constantly, it's just a mantra. It's practicing. Now, I have this idea, Doc, speaking of athletes, that if doctors and lawyers can practice and make all this money, and then you have athletes and musicians who practice so they can play, well, what the hell are the rest of us doing? You know, why aren't we all just practicing at playing and get along? You know, like, it'll work out. Really, it will. You know, instead of competing, we should be cooperating. You know, finding the connectors that make us, you know, everybody's different, which is what makes us the same. And how we apply ourselves with the tools, you know, is up to us. The tools are there for everybody. And you can make up rules. So the rules are simple. Love yourself and love others. That's a pretty simple rule. Anybody can do that. If you love yourself and learn to love others, that you don't need anything else. Everything else will come along. It just takes care of itself. But the more we harness this and embrace it within our experience, and it is a discipline, it's a mantra, it's an exercise, it's a constant. We have to pay attention. It is our consciousness. Who else is up there? you know, so we can debate and argue and fight within ourselves, and that's what people do, you know, good cop, bad cop, you know, angel, all that crazy making that goes on in people's head. You got to sort it out somewhere, sometime, somehow, and who you going to do it with except you, right?
You're right.
You know,
Right.
no matter how you turn the corner, it's always going to end up back to us. It's always an inside job, no matter what you think your difficulties are. There is absolutely nothing outside of us that is going to take care of us better than us. And the more we learn to do that ourselves, the more we give that away. And others just, you know, go, wow, this is pretty amazing. Yeah, really, isn't it? You know,
It's awesome.
this is way more fun, isn't it? You know?
It is the best. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. And you're the one that gives yourself, you know, you, not you, but, you know, we give ourselves permission for every single thing. So there is that internal, embedding those commands to ourselves and saying to ourselves, yes, that's okay. You know, everyone else around us is doing that thing. Yes, it's okay. Everyone believes that plane rammed into the building. Yes, it's okay. All of these things are just, you know, you talk about inside jobs and just doing things from outside. It's the biggest lie the devil ever told. You know, to make us believe all those outside things exist. It's crazy, but this is what the criminal thing being perpetrated on humanity right now. Is to make them believe all that shit outside exists, like aliens attacking farmers in fucking cow grass fields. You know, it's all kinds of, you know, things that people have to believe to keep people in fear and keep people not in love with themselves.
See, you know, people,
Go ahead, bro.
you know, the whole controversy about like crop circles that have been out there for decades, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at any of the advanced weaponry that is being used currently, called, you know, direct energy weapons, you can see the potential of the sleight of hand hallucination, because what it is using all of the highest degree of weaponry in weather and in weapons, you know, that are all cooperating, coordinating. You know, if you understand like what's happening with the chemtrails, and then you look at the power plants who pump the steam and the constant cloud making, all of these are working in concert. They're all in cooperation and coordination. There's nothing separate. These aren't just coincidences. This is how the system and the grid is laid. So anybody who doesn't understand geoengineering and what the official story calls weather modification, it's weather manipulation. And they can do hurricanes, earthquakes, volcanoes, rainstorms, droughts, winds. All of these are patented. All of these are being exercised. Every one of these is not a conspiracy theory. The bag is open, the cat's running loose, because you can find this information anywhere, anytime. You know, in the information age, ignorance is not bliss.
Right.
So don't play that card. You know, you can find this stuff out. You are being poisoned. We are all being poisoned. Daily. Relentlessly. Every day.
Too much.
And food is just a part of the poison.
Oh man.
You know, so and drink and all these other things. So if we don't curb those appetites and start healing from the inside out, we're going to pay a higher price for that ride in the amusement park. And it's not really amusing. It's designed to be a scary ride. You'll be hanging on for your life. You'll be in white knuckles, wishing you were somewhere else.
Right.
Well, imagine that, folks. You can be anywhere you want to be. It's all choice. All choice.
Man. Yeah. It's all.
Yeah.
It's all. Amazing.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. So I can imagine now. What do you think about all of these? You know, with all of this, you know, we have all of these ways of making money and these creative, like these AIs and these computers and everything around us, you know, being created to become us. I don't know. I just read this book.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying I read this book where it basically was saying that the AI is going to take over the human race, and that's never going to happen. But people are really believing, these are like people's new gods, and they're even trying to like make it like a seventh race, not a race, but a kingdom. Like how you have the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom. Now they're trying to create the artificial intelligence kingdom, which is like they'll never have our emotionality and our senses about them. But it's just amazing how
But
people are just falling into that.
well, if you look at every aspect of what we are facing every day, okay, it already has taken on that life. Everything we're doing is surveilled. Everything we're doing is recorded in a digital fashion. That's why they got rid of analog. Everything that you see around us is all a part of the same. It's not a conspiracy, folks. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm
Nah.
just a realist, and I've done a little investigation, and I've looked around, and I see the evidence. So that's simple science to me. It's observational science.
It is.
So, what do you want to look at next? If you look at everything that we are subjected to, it is by design to exterminate you either now or later. And it's really an awesome force because it's well engineered. It's been crafted. This is by design. This isn't happenstance. How did we get here? Oh, no shit, Sherlock. Do some history, real history. Not what you were told in your indoctrination or your school. You take a look around in other sequences and you'll find out you were crammed with a lot of pseudoscience by hypotheses, mathematical equations, theories, and other illusions, sleight of hand magic tricks that we were taught to believe, which were lies. So what else is a lie? How many things have we been lied to in our life? I started thinking, how many things have I been lied to in my life? And I'm thinking, fucking everything. I had to start completely over. I had to just start over. I had to forget that shit.
You gotta
You know what I mean?
strip
I
it
had
all
to
away.
relearn everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And
about
so
yeah.
I'm just,
Yeah.
sell me
We can never
something
say we
new,
wasted our
okay?
time though.
Don't tell me about the new shooting. I don't want to hear about any, I don't want to hear about the sport team, the shooting, the person that jumped off the roof. I don't care about any of that stuff. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about you taking responsibility for your shit and cleaning up your act so you can play in the field that we're all playing with, which is all we really want to do is have fun, love each other. And it's
Yes.
so easy to do that instead of fighting. Why fight? What the hell? Make love, not war. Let's have a hug. Why would you want to hit somebody when you could hug them? I can't think
Yes.
of a reason
Yes.
why.
Yes.
Why would
Beautiful. That's
anybody
the
want
most
to go
beautiful part of
there?
the detox. Yes.
What's up with that?
Yeah. We gotta detox
Yeah,
back to love.
and
Isn't that
the
something?
P led me to it
Right.
brings me back to love. I got rid of my depression, my anxiety. I'm more calm and patient and loving and kind and empathetic than I've ever been. It just gets better every day. I just work at that, recognizing, just honoring myself by recognizing the change that I'm experiencing every day, every breath, every moment. It's so beautiful. What a glorious time we have to live. And I want to just see people that find that in themselves. It's like watching a cocooning butterfly come out, right? Just bam, bam, bam. Look at how beautiful you are.
Yeah.
It's about
Yeah.
time you finally recognized it. You know what I mean? We see this everywhere. It's not hard because, in sales, where are you going to find your next sale? Where are you going to find, man, the prospects are everywhere. I don't care what you're selling. You know what I mean? Prospects are everywhere. That's why some make it, some don't. The ones who see it do, the ones who don't won't. And it's just like that. It's a simple law.
It
20/80 they
is.
call it in most anything. 20% of the
Yeah.
people will do 80% of the doing. That's why the machines are coming in. The AI is real. It's happening everywhere. And it's not because it's more efficient. So what are humans going to do? They're being pushed out of manufacturing. They're being pushed out of phone and automation. They're being pushed out of all these areas of industry. So what are you going to do? Who are you going to be when all the push comes to shove? And the simplest choices, like Bob Dylan said, you go to him now, he calls you, you can't refuse, because when you ain't got nothing, you got nothing to lose. You're invisible now, and you ain't got no secrets to conceal. So how does it feel? How does it feel? To
Yeah.
be on your own with no direction home. You're just like a rolling stone.
Yeah,
Now,
like a
these are
Rolling
some
Stone.
powerful phrases. They put
Yeah.
it in a pretty easy nutshell right there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
It's
and
the accumulation.
yeah, when
Yeah.
when people decided to
Accumulation.
wake up to the inside job, it's your job. It's a responsibility that we all have to assume. All of us. All of us. Nobody's above or below. Don't ever posture yourself in a superiority complex any more than you want to
Preach.
be in an inferiority complex.
The
Why
inner
would you
is
want
the
to be there?
outer.
Who made you fucking important? Yeah. Right? So if we all take that understanding and love and honor and respect each other in that same light, man, we're going to see a lot of bright. We're going to, we'll be facing the sun all day, every day.
Yeah.
And
I think.
I really do. I was saying this to Anthony yesterday. I was talking to Anthony, and I said, I don't believe people are stupid. I think they're misinformed. And if they actually had their hand held and a mentor to open up the window, they might see the light. And he goes, you're just too nice. You're just too nice. You have a lot
Be
of
nice.
faith in stupid people, don't you? You just have a nice way of saying, you stupid motherfuckers.
Hey, hey.
I don't know,
Nice is
man.
really
But I
being
do.
mad.
Yeah, there are some pretty people have been dumbed down, pretty good. You see
Yeah,
evidence. You don't have to look far or hard.
man. It's
But I just have faith.
incredible.
I do. I trust in love, man. I just trust in
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Love everybody.
You love,
Yeah.
clear
Now
the
I can
slate.
unconditionally love everybody. Mike is another, just
Right.
just love your brother and sister. Love them.
Yeah. We're taught to be polar, like,
So here's something
love
else
and
that
hate.
just came to mind.
Hey, who's that? Oh, hey.
Yeah, love and fear.
Yes,
Yeah.
fear and fear.
Hate
Like,
falls under fear.
right, right. Fear is necessary to create love. I mean, fear creates action, but that fear that they're trying to perpetrate on you to be afraid and move from things is a whole nother, that's not right. And that's what people fall victim to. And it's cultural. It's just like with the foods. It's a cultural phenomenon that's just messing everybody up. Where's protein? Huh? What? I need to do that to build.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, but these things are preached. These doctors, scare people. I don't know why they call a doctor, patient, but he wants to be patient. It's just a backwards ass phenomenon that we got to deal with. As far as taking care of ourselves, we know we can do it all, but we have to be able to broadcast our best selves, ourselves, because we're going up against so many fucking forces. As far as machineries, as far as medical people, nanotechnology inside of us to create someone's insulin to be at a certain level. We've got, like you said, the military-industrial complex, which has a lock and key. But I think it's a matter of us joining hands and not being divided, in what we're doing. Everybody needs to drink of themselves and live for real. You'll see things where my glasses came off. I'm working today too. I'm at work. I might not even go back. I might just tell them I'm taking the rest of the day off. But I deal with it every day, and you just have to be that mentally tough. You got to be a soldier. Otherwise, you'll get done in. They laugh at me. I had one of my friends on the phone. They're laughing at me. Are you going to pee after all that watermelon? I said, yeah, that's right. I'll pee. They know what I do. One of them, I was in a meeting.
Yeah.
Hold on. I was in a meeting, and I was going to use the bathroom. One of them handed me a cup. I started laughing. I said, "Nah, I don't want to pee in your tea."
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
You know.
Well,
we
yeah,
deal with
and the thing is that people that don't get it don't get it. People that do do. And when you're a pee drinker and you're experiencing all that, there's a sense of knowingness that you can maintain because you know. And people that are outside that just can't understand it. They can't see it. And until they do it, they won't realize it. You can't.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I have empathy, so I can appreciate the struggle you have as a black man. And it's like, go fuck yourself. What are you talking about?
I have to.
I can't
have
empathize what your experience is. You know what I mean? I have to experience my own, and you got your own. We're in a, and this is what makes us the same, because we're completely different at the same time. This is, that Buddhist saying is like, I am not who you think I am.
Right.
You are who you think I am. So
heavy.
we're just walking in a perfect mirror. And this is the beauty of it all, because, if we show up and be accountable in presence, we can mirror anything. And we do, whether we recognize it and own it or not. But here's the thing, is that what we don't like, what we fear, what we hate, what we loathe, what we love is all a mirror reflection. So whatever we're seeing is not the other person's problem. They're just triggering us to take a look at what we need to understand the most. So everybody that in your life that is an asshole, a bitch, a cunt, a whore, a twat, or some other, motherfucker, is there for a purpose. You create them exactly that way for that reason, because that's what you are. That's what you are. And until you recognize it in yourself, you're just going to creating it in everybody else. You're going to see it everywhere out there. That's the way it works. So when people are focused on their problems, not their solution, they're the problem. Period.
Wherever
most
you
people
go,
are focusing on the problem, not the solution.
Becomes a Tootsie Roll to me. Remember that Tootsie Roll commercial back in the 70s? I'm giving my age away, but it was a Tootsie Roll commercial. And it's like, I've held that image for how many years now? Everything you think you see becomes, that's what you see. I mean, you don't see anything else. It's just like the shaman, when Columbus's ships were coming, nobody could see the ship because they never saw a ship before. Then the shaman shows them this is a ship and educates, teaches them, and then they say, "Oh, I see the ship. I see it." You get that new car. I had a few cars, and I never pay attention to how this, 8-cylinder and killing me, but this is what it feels like, and this is good. But you gotta, it's so easy to be outside of things, and sometimes it's as simple as talking to people and just seeing what people do, and not missing it, not dismissing it. We're trying to get into what they feel and what people are. Be more about feelings. Everyone out here is so fucking hardened that it's crazy. That I do things that are off the chart, and then like I'm a black man. I'm a vegan. Eat raw fruit. I used to do music for a living. I used to, work in construction.
Well, and the thing is with that is all you've just done is register a bunch of labels. It's a resume, right? Because these are just they're putting us in pigeonholes, so to speak. Right. Because every time we label ourselves, I'm a vegan, I do construction, or I whatever it is.
Yeah. But I don't use those. I just need to
putting a label on us.
Right. I just wanted to give people an indication of what, because usually people that
I'm not saying it's good or I'm not saying it's bad or wrong. I'm just noting that this is what we do. This is how we develop an identification, and it's really curious to me. It's interesting to see how we'll manifest all of these, ideologies about our imaging.
Right.
I mean, it's really curious to me.
It is. I love when I could just, strip all those things away. It's like we're on an even playing field, like you said earlier. We're one. There's no doubt about that. We're all one. We're all, energies. And it's funny how when we find common ground, when everything just eases up and relaxes, we're able to find common ground. But there's on the opposing side of the chessboard, you have people that are trying to divide you and make you see that's this, hate that, he's black, he's white, she's Caucasian, she's gay. You know, these things, you know, just out-polarize, you know, just put everybody on different levels. You know, the marketing industry is an interesting one. You know, it's, you know, we could discuss this for hours and hours, you know that. But, you know,
yeah, well, you know, you know, to see where people might be coming from, you know, I'll just ask them a simple question like, have you ever heard of Edward Bernays? And whether they understand that question or not says a lot. Because when you understand who Edward Bernays was, he was the one who really wrote the book on propaganda, literally. And it was a handbook for all industry after that. And it still is today. The techniques that he explained, and he was the nephew of Sigmund Freud, so he was getting inside information on psychology of the mind, what people are, how you can manipulate, control, and influence people into directives with mind control techniques that are simple. It's and everybody that has ever been a politician, a warmonger, a part of the media or any other machine, advertising, selling this or that or the other, all know the mechanisms. These are all techniques, and they're taught and they're learned as a part of your curriculum to subliminally seduce people into, you know, buying a product emotionally with no reasoning behind it. Like I always said that the perfect definition for status was buying things you don't need with money you don't have to impress people you don't really like anyway. You know, and we're caught up in this consumer consciousness crap and competition, which separates us. And it's all about separation. Young, old, black, white, men, women, all that crap. Doesn't matter. Gay, straight, Christian, Muslim, who fucking cares? It's separation, which is not, it's not in our favor. It's by design keeping the power control in the hands of the people that are greedy. The more people just stop, look, and listen and realize that group think is a dangerous language, you know, because it herds you into corral of, you know, banners that like, wait a minute, I didn't sign up for all this. How did I get here? This is my beautiful life. This is my beautiful wife. How did I get here? You know?
Right. We're greedy people. We're beautiful people, as Elmo says.
It's easy to do.
Yeah, that is the truth. I mean, like,
yeah, it's real easy to find the path.
We can create a different level of thinking about race. Like, I can tell someone, oh no, you grew up on, my parents are from Trinidad. You're from Russia. So the sun hits us at different angles. We all have the sun in common. So why not look at the sun where it grows? Oh, they're able to grow this fruit. We're able to grow that fruit. You know, we can come together. We can trade. You have all these territories, latitudes, longitudes. You have different islands, places. And yeah, we're all going to look different because the sun hits at different angles. But at the end of the day, we're all pretty much the same. Now, we're not treated the same, which is another story, but we can all get along. You know, we just need to make that, you know, make that a priority. You know, outside forces again.
I really trust. Well, I really trust that if we really understand the simplest equation, that we are all different, which makes us the same. And so if we can acknowledge that, you know, we all have our right to our thoughts, our emotions, and our process, and all we have to do is accept and acknowledge that with respect. Now, it doesn't mean I agree. It doesn't mean that I want to be a part of your club, but I recognize that's your choice. And I just leave it alone. I respect it rather than judge it. It's none of my business. You know, what people do, say, and think is up to them.
Yeah.
And here's the real thing is that, and people think this is a trick question, and it really isn't.
No, it's not.
But I ask people who they're being.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's, you know, people look at you like, what do you mean? You know, I'm a doctor, I'm a this, I'm a that, you know, married woman, I'm a mom, I'm a, you know, blah, 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 you know. And I said, I'm not asking what you did or who you hang with, you know, or what club you belong to or any of that. My question was, who are you being? And
That's a nice way to call it to the
people
front.
think, well, wait a minute, what, well, again, we're designed as human beings. And if we don't understand the nature of beingness, then how can we ever just be and be okay? Be as one, be together.
Yeah.
Otherwise we just become human doings for human havings. And if all we're doing is doing shit to have shit, then we're full of shit and we're not handling our shit, which gets back to the
Yep.
conversation that you got to minimize that
Right.
shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it
You're looking
gets
at
really,
the past.
that compression, man, that shit weighs heavy. Weighs real heavy.
Definitely. Definitely. You're looking at the past. It's being puts you right at the forefront of your beingness, your existence, right at the forefront. You can't beat that. And that's what people need. We need to just call ourselves to order, call ourselves to, we're on time, man. I'm not talking to you yesterday. I'm not talking to your yesterday self. I'm talking to your present self. You're talking to my present self. And a lot of things, like people get caught up in judgment and all these other things I could, come to the forefront for talking about. But no, we're all present. We're all here now. We all need to go back to the equator because it's so damn cold over here. So that's one thing we all have in common.
You know what? It's funny you say that. All of my body is reasonably comfortable and warm at this point, except for my feet, because they're kind of down in the shadows. Everything else, I'm kind of up here and kind of getting the glow of the sun.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
but this has been awesome. Having this opportunity with you today has just been a privilege, my friend. I'm so honored that you would find time in your schedule to come on and be hanging with me. What a homie you are.
It was worth it.
There you are in a Dunkin' Donuts or something. I'm sitting here in a park in the middle of Missouri, and we made this shit happen, man. We made this thing rock. And I thank you for that. I mean, this has been a real privilege, man.
I don't know where the time went.
Yeah.
Like we could go another 2 hours, but I gotta get back. But man,
And there's no constraint, at all. I mean, we can trip as long as we want.
Oh yeah.
I mean, processing. When I process this to become a part of YouTube, it's going to take a while. Because it's so long. It'll take a long while, but that's okay. I chose this format today because I found that out of all the options that I had available to me, that this one would potentially be the most user-friendly for all things considered. And so far, so good. Once we kind of got the kinks worked out, because it was the first one. So, it was just dialing in and learning some of what we need to know. So it's all good.
You did good.
It's all good to mine. Yeah, it's good in the hood.
Nice.
See, I'll show you something here. This is right here. Hood Canal. And that's where I moved from in Washington, Hood Canal.
Okay.
That's what it's called, Hood Canal.
Oh,
And
Washington State.
Yeah, so I'd always say, oh man, it's all good in the hood, I mean, there's sweatshirts that say that. It's all good in the hood, Well,
Nice.
actually the shirts say it's all good on the hood.
It's all good in the hood. Yes, it is.
But I like in
Still
the
all
hood.
good.
Because we're all in the hood. You and I are hanging in the hood right now. That's what we're doing. We're just hanging in the hood,
Yeah, man.
I like
the
that.
hood. Man, this is good. This is good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
No,
Yes,
it's a
indeed.
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh man.
So I don't know if I
can't-
mentioned this, that in upcoming guest, I'm going to mention that right now because next week, coming to us from the UK is going to be Samuel G. Cohen and his partner Kelly. And we're going to be inviting both Rosalind, Dr. Roz, and Danny D are going to also be a part of that conversation, and it's all about drinking through the nose. So that's going to be next Tuesday's show, and he's going to be coming to us from the UK. So
That's going to be a good
that's
show.
going to be fun. But the
Wow.
week the week after that is with allegedly Dave on the 23rd, and that's my
Mm,
1 year anniversary of doing urine therapy, and Dave Murphy is the one who led me from flat Earth to UT. So I thought, isn't
nice.
that perfect synchronicity? And I didn't plan it that way. We just talked, and that was the open date. It was about 10 minutes after we got off our video chat
Mm,
that I looked at the date and I went, "Oh my God, that's my 1 year anniversary date. How perfect is that?" So
nice. Great way to
yeah, it's
start
very
your
cool. A lot of cool people are
anniversary.
lining up. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got some. I feel so fortunate that so many amazing people, want to get together and share. And so we've got a lot of really cool people coming up in the weeks to come that are just we're all in this together, bro. That's the thing. We're all in it together. And the more we
Yeah.
connect it, the more we, kind of weave the fabric together of this beautiful tapestry called love. Man, it's a happening thing. It's totally happening.
Yeah, man, you rocked it to start. You had a yoga specialist, you had a massage therapist who grows her own stuff, you had a personal trainer. Now you have sort of a nutritional kind of guy. Next, you're gonna have the thing, the nose. Oh man, this is
Yeah,
really
man.
big, man. Potential energy
Yeah,
is
we got
crazy.
it. Yeah, the thing that a lot of people, if they don't drink their pee, can't understand that pee is a deep subject, it's a broad subject, and it's something that is really a fascination, and there's so much to learn.
Yeah,
And you can't cover it all in a conversation. I mean, because it'll just keep reappearing in different ways.
right.
And we start to realize the empowerment we're receiving and the information that we're channeling as a result of our doing this simple therapy. Just simply drinking your pee starts the process, and you want more and more, not just the pee, but the information that it provides, and the energy that it provides, and the healing mechanism that is provided. It's so blissful. It's just so blissful.
It is. It
So I
is.
figured that there was no reason not to call this ORIN Oracles and make this it's not a one pony town. It's just a level playing field. So we're allowing the playing field to exist at that plane. But the people that are participating in the tribe that are coming into the playground are as diverse as the day is long. And that's what we want to keep tapping into, is bringing in all this knowledge that
Mm,
is just hanging around the tribe everywhere. And it's
it's
awesome.
growing.
Every person I get to know, I just want to know them more. No more than it's the same as my pee. I want to get to know these people as the best I can. I live for that. I mean, because people are so lovely. There's so many
Well,
kind and lovely people out in the world. It's
if you invite me,
amazing.
I'll do it again. I'll do it
You
again. I
see,
enjoyed this.
yeah, man.
Um,
Yeah, man.
this,
Yeah, I'm digging it.
yeah, man. I want to get some. I
Yeah.
get some
So
math,
I
math
do want
going.
to remind.
Right. Are we at that
Yeah,
hour already?
I'm going to take a moment to remind everybody again about the symposium in September. And, to make that happen for yourself, it's only $35 to register. So, why not? Go ahead and register. It's in September in Las Vegas at the Westgate.
Mm,
And you can find all that information at Water of Life Symposium. And there's a shout out for my homie, because I love him dearly. And what he has provided for
yes,
us is
indeed.
just a beautiful place to commune.
Awesome.
He's bringing it
Awesome.
on.
Very good.
So, and I also, people that are really interested, I started writing pea poems, and there's 104 of them that have,
Mm,
in the first book. I'm already working on a book 2, but I got to get book number 1 out there first. And so the first 100 people that send a $25 donation to PayPal.me, me/WEEDU, will get signed and numbered copies of the first 100 to be published. So there it
nice.
is.
Nice.
So I want to thank you again so much, Doc. I am going to wrap this up. I know we could
Yeah,
go
man.
on, but my feet are getting
That's cool.
cold, and I think we've covered a lot of territory in these 2 hours, big time. And
Yeah,
I love you
yeah,
dearly,
we
my
did.
brother. I love you so much.
You, brother. Love you. This was good, man. I enjoyed this, and look forward to, more shows, looking at these shows, looking at the past shows, and everybody stay tuned. Drink that magic. That's all I can say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. So I'll catch you on the flip side, my friend. I'm going to go ahead and check out of this, and I'm going to have to pick up my phone, see if I can figure out which buttons to push. I'm sure it's simple enough.
All right, brother.
Oh, I see it. Oh, hey, Monica. Hey, Amanda. How sweet. Two of my favorite girls in the world. They're in there.
Nice,
So, yeah,
nice.
brother. Until the next time, man, keep your peace together.
All
It's a
right, man.
beautiful life that we live.
Peace. Yes, indeed, brother.
Yeah,
Much love to you.
peace. Love and blessings.
You too,
Okay,
brother.
bye, y'all. Thanks for joining us. It's really been a pleasure. It's been a thrill. I love you dearly. Okay, I'm hitting finish. Ciao for now.